to a Media Tsunami roundtable discussion. We're going to be looking at the movie Street Fighter, the animated movie. What did you think, Josh?
I liked it a lot. It reminded me of the older anime I watched on Adult Swim back when Tsunami still had, I think his name was Rob. The first Rob generation. But it was good. I didn't know any of the characters of the story or any of that, and it explained it throughout slowly, but it made sense. But it was good overall. A good first experience to Street Fighter aside from Super Nintendo.
So you never really played the arcade or watched any other type of media from Street Fighter?
No, not Street Fighter.
So this was like your first time you ever spent more than 15 minutes with?
Yeah, on the Super Nintendo.
Okay. Scott? Initial thoughts?
First thoughts? Wanted to see the back of that box to see how long this movie was. No, I'm just kidding. It was interesting. Probably could live my whole life and not watch it again. But I had no background in Street Fighter really either, besides playing against you a couple times and getting my butt handed to me. Back many years ago. I'm just not much of a fighting game person in general. It's not necessarily my genre, so a movie about a fighting game that I haven't had much time with. I just didn't really know enough about it to be super thrilled to watch it. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was interesting and a good watch at least one time.
Gotcha. So you also no real love or any kind of affection or knowledge of the series of Street Fighter.
Yeah, correct.
And Matt.
And did not sound like a broken record. I also really haven't had any kind of experience into the series. As far as the movie goes, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't really know what to expect going into it. But like Josh said, I enjoyed the animation style as well. And the plot moved in a way that I didn't really need to know anything about Street Fighter in order for it to work for me. Like, I was introduced to the characters pretty much at the same time everybody else was, so I was able to follow the story for what it was, and any background stuff I didn't know, like, they eventually covered, so that was kind of nice. I thought the characters were cool, and it's, while I'm not, like, busting at the seams to go out and, like, buy anything necessarily Street Fighter, I'm a little more intrigued by the series than I have been in the past. So, like Scotty said, though, I also don't do fighting games very well, and I'm pretty bad at them, so that probably influenced my opinion on the series.
Understand. I can honestly look at this movie and say it's not a good movie. And the only reason that I do like it is because I have that attachment from when I was a kid. I'm a little bit older than you guys, and I was like the perfect age for when the fighting game craze really hit, and the arcades were all about fighting games. Street Fighter 2 hit it huge, and then everybody tried copying them. Samurai Showdown, you had the SNK games, they all tried to do it, Neo Geo, and so I love that time period, and I'm very much connected to all those fighting games, and I have collections of them up here in this stuff, all these different fighting games. And I remember Street Fighter was my favorite. I identified with those characters, and I was always looking for more media of it. And so when I was at a Blockbuster and I saw the VHS box of Ryu doing this flying sidekick in the air with a Buddha head behind him and lightning flashing, I was like, wow, that's awesome, I gotta watch this. And I was I was pretty excited to watch that. And at the time I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. Here's an expansion of this world, these characters that I love so much, and it continues on. But now I look at it, the plot is really thin. It's describe the plot to me. One of you think you had a handle?
So let's see if we can take a stab at this here. People fought. Good times were had. And now trying to okay, so M. Bison, I know. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of weird. I feel like
I can't do it.
I feel like at the beginning of it, it was kind of oh, this guy's bad. Let's go try to find him. And then out of nowhere, this movie's been out forever, so I guess I'm gonna spoil stuff. Like, all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, okay, I guess he was trying to find like the strongest fighters, and so
Who's
he
he?
wanted to get Ryu, but in order to get him,
Who's
he was
he?
like M. Bison,
Okay.
who I brought up earlier. Continuing that thought, so M. Bison was like, want to find the strongest fighters. I don't remember exactly why he wanted to, whether it was just to reassert his domination. And so he ended up getting Ryu's best friend Ken, like brainwashed him Winter Soldier style.
Spoilers for Winter Soldier.
There it goes.
It's the whole premise of Winter Soldier.
It just spoiled the
No
whole
one
thing.
watches our video. But anyway, yes, there really wasn't a whole lot to go on, but it was I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the plot was just that. It's
It's very simple.
yeah, and Bison wanted like other fighters that he could use to be part of his entourage to help him make the group more powerful. And he discovers very early on, from the fight that they start off the movie with Ryu and Sagat, that Ryu is like, Bob Saget. Ryu is like super powerful, and so he makes it his goal to capture Ryu, and so tries to capture him or whatever. And they have all these different scenes that do not further the plot in any way, shape, or form. They're excuses to show off all the other characters
fighting each other
in the Street Fighter franchise. They do nothing to further that plot. You could really take the first like 10 minutes of this movie and the last like 15 minutes of this movie, and that's your story. That's what you would need to tell the story. But it is like over an hour and a half movie, and all the other stuff in between is just so we can like say, yeah, we have all the Street Fighter characters in here. And as a kid, as a Street Fighter fan, I enjoy that because I want to see those characters. There's Fei Long. Oh, he's a movie guy. Clearly a Bruce Lee ripoff. There's T-Hawk. He's terrible, but he's big and frightening in the cartoon. But so it's not a good movie, but if you're a Street Fighter fan, it's a recommended watch for that reason. Would you guys recommend this to anyone ever?
No.
If they like Street Fighter, apparently.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean,
It's not bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I just it's not something particularly I would seek out, and I don't think I really know anyone besides you, John, that probably would seek something like this out. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, it's a niche movie.
If someone's like, Street Fighter's the greatest game of all time, then I might be like, have you seen the movie? But
Which one? There was a live
well,
action one.
okay, the one that we watched, the one we're talking about here,
I
Josh.
know, but
I would be like, have you seen the animated movie?
there you go.
That's the thing I'm excited about for you guys, is that eventually we're gonna watch everything Street Fighter has to offer. Aren't you excited?
No.
Aren't you guys excited?
Absolutely not.
I can't imagine why.
I'd watch it.
Good, because we're gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna be sick that day.
Okay.
Days.
more like that week. We're watching it's a marathon.
Oh.
Marathon. So,
Yep. Not feeling too good, guys.
So why did we watch it, John?
why? Because I want us to do more movie things, and this one ties to the video game stuff that we've been doing, right? And this franchise is near and dear to my heart, so I want to share what I love with you.
Plus, Josh,
And you.
we know for
All two of you.
Yeah, we know, for example, that just because let's take a franchise that we know you love dearly, The Legend of Zelda, and throw in, oh, hey, maybe they should make a TV show about. Oh, wait.
What's
So-
wrong with the TV show?
Excuse me, princess.
There's two pieces of the child.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I kind of get where you're coming from. It's a franchise that you really enjoy, but yeah, maybe it's not. Like, let's face it, no one hits their stride with video game movies. You're trying to think of one, and you can't.
Tell that to Doom.
See, the fighting sequences in this movie I thought were really good. The animation I thought was good. I wasn't a huge fan of the overall art style. Like, there's some scenes that I almost pointed out to you when we were watching. It was like their heads look like microscopic compared to their chests and their shoulders that will be like jutting out huge. And so that looked a little awkward to me.
But you don't want to ruin the magic for us.
No,
I didn't want
to distract you guys from your already distracted attention on your phones and whatever conversation you're holding in the meantime.
Shush, we're all millennials.
So, but
I liked it. I didn't think it was terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
I would watch it again just for the fight scenes. Like they were good. They really were.
I think they were like. Do you like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. The fight scenes in Street Fighter are a million times better than they were in Dragon Ball Z.
I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z.
You hold your tongue.
I've only read it. I've only read it.
You haven't watched Dragon Ball Z?
I didn't grow up watching it.
What's wrong with you?
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
So, they were also much shorter too, though, and so I guess
they didn't have to power up. None of that.
3 episodes later.
Yeah. Fusion. Ha! You messed it up. That's why it didn't work.
I had to sit there for a second. I know this a little.
Alright. Well, Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, if you're a fan of Street Fighter, definitely check that out. I think it's worth it for a Street Fighter fan. Otherwise, as you can hear, you're probably not going to like it, so you might skip that one.
My favorite character.
Guile was cool. Hair. I liked Ken too. Even though we didn't really get to see a whole lot of him, and when we did, he was a bad guy. But I kind of liked the whole, like, you know, two equal forces, like friends pitted against each other kind of thing. It's been done to death at this point, but I really like that kind of twist. So it adds like another layer of like intensity, I guess. And so yeah, so either Guile or Ken, I would think.
That's a cool shirt, man.
Thank you.
That's a real cool shirt.
Scott, did you have a character that you liked?
I like Mr. Accord. Mr. Honda Accord. No, I'm just kidding. Guile probably is the best.
Also,
or Guile, as we like to call him.
Guile. Joshua, you started it, so what do you like?
I can't remember the Brazilian guy.
Blanca, the green monster.
Yeah, he was this misunderstood.
That again, that was another one of those completely like unnecessary teams.
Because he didn't do anything else in the movie.
Zangief and Blanca like fight each other. While Balrog is in the back, like talking on the phone to Bison about tracking down somebody. Yeah, that's about it.
It was a good.
Hey, you know that new fighting style you're looking for? Well, check this out. I don't know.
Is that a Back to the Future reference?
It was supposed to be.
And John?
See, it's hard for me. Like, you guys can give your honest opinion just based on this. But me, like, I'm like taking in like all of the different platforms that I know Street Fighter from. Fei Long, I'm a fan of always because he's Bruce Lee. I mean, in the games and stuff, he does the wah wah like Bruce Lee and stuff too. And then Chun-Li is always one of my favorites. She was the first one that I like really learned to play the game with, because I used to always identify as a kid, and like the one I wanted to play with was Blanca, because it's a green monster. He's cool. And then I heard someone say, "Yeah, but Chun-Li's faster," and I started watching the game. I was like, "Man, she can kind of jump everywhere, and she is pretty fast." So I started using Chun-Li and figuring her out. So
I bet she was your favorite from the movie.
She's always saw the most stuff.
Yeah.
We did see the most. And depending, if you get the uncut version, you do see a lot of Chun-Li. So, alright, I think that's a good place to end it, and we'll see you next time with another movie roundtable discussion.
What's the samurai's name? Ihadana?
E Honda.
He's a sumo wrestler.
He's a sumo wrestler.
Are we?
I'm
Just
glad-
save this gold
I'm
for
glad that's recorded. What's the samurai's name?
E Honda.
We're gonna stick that at the end.
So is this more like a?
Pipe dream. Is that what Mario does when he sleeps? Pipe dream.
I wish I had a different camera angle right now for like the look in your face after you said that. My dream is that what he does? He's like,
That's how I tell jokes. It's great.
And then I can switch to like this close up.
Ahem, ahem.
It's not a good season for me.
The longer this takes, the less time you have to play Musha.
I like how it's not a good season for me. I mean, it's like he's barely blowing anything in there.
At least you have it on camera.
It's like literally nothing came out.
Go on, Val.
Clear those sinuses.
I won't make it.
I'm dying, guys. My sinuses are so clogged up.
Ahem, ahem.
Okay, I'm good to go now.
Nope.
Okay.
Not done crying yet. Okay, now I'm good.